So, come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on into the James Kitchen and Bar. We are here outside Albertsons Stadium, and I got to tell you guys, it's as packed downtown and as packed in the James as I've seen it in a long time here. This place is packed. It's a beautiful evening, and it's going to be a fun game tonight. We got Kent Riddle, Brad Bedell. We're here pregame. We'll be back postgame. Thanks to Jaden Finch for helping get everything set up. A lot on the line tonight, and should be fun tonight, guys.
Should be a blast. You can feel it already. I mean, certainly the busiest I've seen it around here in the last couple of years. So great buzz going around. Shoot, the line here is almost to the front door. So next week, if you're coming to the James, get here early. But Jackson's still got a nice little tailgate going on over there. Come see our sponsors, and we're excited.
I was going to tell folks we're literally outside today in front of the James. We're on Broadway. I was going to say, if you see us when you're driving by to honk. Brad said maybe it wasn't the best idea to let people know we were out here. Might throw tomatoes or things at us. I don't know, Brad, but different perspective, different view out here in front tonight.
I think it's awesome. Get some people walking on the sidewalk. They're excited about this game, which they should be. Good opponent coming to town.
I mean, we're still 3 hours from, 2.5 from kickoff.
I mean, it's crowded. I mean, it's loaded. And you can't ask for anything more. It's a big game. We talked about it all week, how the crowd's got to be into it and can be a huge factor in the game. And as always, the Bronco Nation will show up.
It's funny, Kent. I was when we used to do that BNN After Dark show with Winston, and we had all these guys on from that 2010 era, and they Jamar Taylor and all those guys talked about there's this famous house on Hale Street where a lot of these players lived and all these famous stories. And I never knew where Hale Street was. Well, I now know it's about a half mile away because that's where I had to park to get here. I gave my parking pass away to my wife and kids tonight, and I thought, I'll find a spot right back. No, I'm like 5 blocks away. The parking lot is already packed. I came down here around noon to set up a lot of this stuff, and then because I knew we had some stuff going on today. There were already people tailgating and pulling into the parking lot at noon today. This might be the all-time record crowd tonight. It's sold out.
We just saw a guy came from Connecticut for the game.
Connecticut. He flew in from Connecticut.
He was like, "This can be a big game,"
and he went in. He went in there, and if I see him, I'll buy him a beer like Austin, the kid from Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, how could you not ask for anything more with college football? A great Saturday, great weather, just a great game on
no
deck.
excuse if you got a ticket not to be in.
What do
your
you think it
seat
is? I mean, is it just playoff implications? Is it just 4-0 Washington State? Is it just a beautiful day? Is it wanting to see Ashton Genty? This is a number 25 team versus a team that's not ranked. When you look at it from the outside, well, why is there so much excitement buzz on this game, you think?
And it's also a regional rivalry. I mean, we've had some great games with Washington State over the years.
Yeah.
But, Ashton Genty, ranked team, just the excitement of Boise State, kind of all that. And then to get it against a 4-0 team coming in here, happens to be a regional rivalry. I mean, hey, the Cougs showed up too.
There's a lot, and the other thing is there's a lot of Coug graduates that live in the Boise or the Treasure Valley, and they're going to put on that maroon stuff and walk around and be happy and hope for a win. But I don't know if it's not like you got Alabama walking in here, but I think there's a lot to that playoff implications
For both teams.
And let's not kid each other. We're actually looking at a conference opponent in 2 years.
Yeah,
So
Pac-12 game.
this is a Pac-12 game, and I mean this is
Pac-12 after dark tonight from Albertsons Stadium.
But this is the atmosphere that when they brought Boise State into this conference that they expected to have in the Pac-12. That's why I've said this. They're the premier brand of that conference coming in.
And when the Broncos win tonight, should probably be the same thing next week for a 5:00 kick.
It's already sold out against Utah State. So, you would think every game here should just kind of snowball. We'll take your comments, your score predictions on the ICCU YouTube chat. Bob Mitchell first up says, Brad, I will be in Laramie for the game in November. If you show up, I will buy you a beer. Any chance that you get to Laramie for a free beer?
I really appreciate that opportunity, but I'm going to sit that one out. I've been to Laramie in late November, and you know what? There's a lot of places I want to go. And Laramie,
but you
Wyoming.
Never know. You never know.
You never know. You never know. You're better off. You could see me in Las Vegas splitting face cards versus UNLV before you see me.
We may need at some point, Jaden, to show all the fans walking by on the camera here, because this is I don't know if it's
former players. Tim Volk walking by.
Yeah, I saw Riley Smith just walked by. They're going to come back. They went over to end zone. Here's some more folks right here.
Matt Griffin walked by.
This guy looks like he knows you.
Oh yeah. What's up, Mike?
This is a fun. It's fun. Actually, kind of like it out here. There's a lot going on out here. We're kind of when we're upstairs, we're facing the other direction. Now we got a little more scenery and things.
The other thing, now you realize what I've told you, that Rid could run for mayor and possibly win. There is not a doubt in my mind that Rid could run for mayor and at least get on the ballot as a signature ballot.
You never know.
We'll get to some of the other scores and things. There's been some interesting scores out there. UNLV, wow. We'll get to that. But this game tonight, we mentioned the playoff implications. I think for both teams, you lose this game, it's going to be tough to get in the playoff. 2 losses for Boise State, just regardless of who it is. Some things would have to fall their way. Washington State guys, you look at their schedule too. They're 4-0, but after this game, they've only got 1 or 2 super tough games left. I mean, if Washington State, they're thinking if they come in here, they got a chance to run the table or 1 loss to get in the playoff as an at-large team. So
I would agree.
The Broncos pulling in here, maybe,
or one of the teams.
That's Washington State pulling in.
Okay.
Broncos becoming.
They used to come in the other way. They used to come
in at the Grove, so they're going to come in that way.
Okay, they used to kind of come in by your facility and turn, so they could come in and park right there.
Yeah, the tailgating, good move by them to not go through there.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you get a beer bottle.
Yeah, Boise State's coming in the other way, so they can get out and walk.
Yeah, they'll have the Bronco walk or whatever. Yeah. But both teams, as I said, playoff implications. Washington State, like I said, they're coming in here saying if they win, they got a chance to get in that large bid and run the table, or maybe have 1 loss. I mean, this is both teams have a ton on the line tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. But the other thing you got to realize is, let's face it. I mean, at least we have UNLV coming up on the schedule. Does Washington State play UNLV? I don't know in that whole.
They play Fresno coming up next week, I believe.
Fresno's not very good. They got the brakes beat off of them. But we have UNLV.
Washington State's, I would guess, after this game, their biggest game, probably Oregon State. Just a guess, but
you got to realize this is
they've already beat the Huskies. So
either way, either team, this is a quality opponent win for the playoff. Right, and then we have another one Boise's got another one with UNLV.
Yeah, because they'll probably end up ranked.
Right. So with Washington State for them to go undefeated, they need. Well, if they go undefeated in this game, they need their schedule. They need to help them out just with strength of schedule because
they're at
terrible.
Fresno next week, and then they have
Oregon
Hawaii,
State.
at San Diego State, Utah State, at New Mexico, Oregon State, Wyoming. There's a lot of wins on that schedule.
As of right now, they have
A lot of Bronco fans fired up coming in here for this one.
So as of right now on their schedule, Oregon State. So yeah, Boise and Oregon State. They're the only teams with a winning record right now.
Nice win.
You want to get the second camera?
You know what I mean? Those are the only teams that have a winning record on the rest of the Utah or Washington State schedule. The rest of those, the rest
But
of
I mean,
their
they're
schedules.
not losing many games on that schedule, probably.
No. So
they, I mean,
huge one for Boise State.
Yeah, both teams.
Both teams.
Yeah. All right. I got some. I know you guys both obviously coached offense, but I want to get into their quarterback, John Mateer, on the Washington State side. I mean, this guy is number 3 in the country in total offense. He's passed for 1,100 yards. He's rushed for 425. I mean, he's the number 20 leading rusher in the nation for anybody, and he's a quarterback. And he's over 106 yards per game. And for non-option, triple option quarterbacks, he leads the nation in rushing for quarterbacks. Right. They've faced a couple dual threat guys already, obviously the Oregon quarterback and some other guys, but I mean, this guy is getting comparisons to Johnny Manziel with the way when plays break down, he can take off and things, and his name's John. They're calling him Johnny Football. I mean, just what do you make of John Mateer, and what's the challenge against a quarterback that even when you're playing great coverage for 4 or 5 seconds, all he needs to get, he can just take off and run.
Absolutely. I think the biggest challenge really for them is to keep him in the pocket, make him throw the ball. So I would think that, you might not see as many sacks. You might see some sacks where the pocket kind of collapses on him, but there'll be huge emphasis on the defensive ends not rushing past the quarterback and creating lanes. They're gonna push the pocket from the outside in. Sheldon's been freaking awesome, like collapsing the pocket from the inside. So, just that, and then trying to do a good job in coverage. Yep. Probably a little bit more zone, eyes on the quarterback. When they play man, you'll probably see a spy out there. A lot of his rushing yards, from what I've seen, and I've not watched every game, so I'm going to be honest about that. But what's up, Chuck? He pulls the ball down on pass plays and takes off running. And that's where a lot of his yards have come. So doing a really good job of just keeping him in the pocket, eyes on the quarterback or a spy on the quarterback. But that dude's fast and elusive. But I think they're going to try and make him throw the ball a little bit.
Do you spy somebody you want him as a linebacker, or what do you do?
You got to spy in man. I would agree with that because everybody knows if the wide receivers are covered in man, the quarterback's not.
Yeah, I mean, the spy thing all sounds great, but it's not. I mean, if you spy in zone, you're only rushing 3.
But if you're going to play man, you can blitz 6. Running back takes one and add a blitzer.
Yep, absolutely.
That can get another rusher to the pocket. The other thing is Rid, and I mentioned
this is the lady that bought you guys the drink last time.
Oh,
this is Denise. Look what we got. Look what we got. Oh,
thank you.
GoFundMe collection for Brad Bedell swearing. My gosh. Denise, thank you so much. Look at that.
We're working on that.
We were just given a GoFundMe collection for Brad Bedell swearing.
Thank you.
Well,
Denise, thank you so much. Wow.
Denise said that is going to be one of the, yeah.
Not going to need this though tonight, right? We're good.
We're okay.
We're although they said I've been getting a lot of criticism for they said they want to let Brad and Kent cook on the post game is what they said.
Well, anyways, hey, the other thing is, Riddle, and I'm glad you said that.
You're opening it right here. All right, what do we got?
Oh my God!
Oh, there's actually a decent amount of money in there.
Come on, that's not.
Denise
wait till
is
she
now
walks back. We're going to give it back to her when she walks back.
Sponsor.
That's too nice. That's too nice. That's too nice. We're gonna give it back to her.
Anyway, let's talk to this one, Rid. You talk about the defensive ends. It's so important that they get to the top of the quarterback and not stop, but crush the pocket from there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because what people, and I said this on Wednesday, is you get those DNs running around the quarterback, that opens up that C-gap lane.
Absolutely.
That defensive tackles really don't see. They got to crush the depth.
Let's be honest. The defensive tackles are engaged.
I agree. But
by engaged, I mean the O-line are hanging on to them for dear life.
For dear life.
Yeah.
So when you get to that situation, crush the pocket, keep them on the spot, and then corral. So tonight, my opinion, if your D-line's having half sacks, that means they're keeping him in the pocket, and it's a
No
good
doubt.
night.
I think that's what's going to happen. And when you do flush him, like make him lose ground to the outside, it's funny watching some of the Arkansas game, like Talon was kind of taken off backwards a little bit because the very first series of the game, they let him step up and he hit a bomb and for a touchdown.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm glad you said it too. Once he does get out of that pocket, stay in coverage. Don't let him have an explosive play by that late throw on your scramble rules where one's taking the 9 of the deep route and getting a cheap one over the top.
And then they just got to do a great job of open field tackling, which you've seen the progress they've made in that area from the first game all the way along. And some of that's
YouTube.
A matter of it doing.
If you really want to, sure. We can, hey, move the camera.
Some of it's a matter of.
We got to lean in here, Brad. We got some fun. Jaden, can you move the camera here? Help out here. Let's. What do you guys want to say here?
I have the mic. Hey, I'm a real life in-person Boise State fan, and I am here to go to the bar.
Awesome.
And,
I thought you were AI.
My name is Helga.
My name is Patricia.
And we like Boise State.
Well, awesome. Have fun. Which bar are you going to?
We're the James, hopefully. Right? Going here to the James rooftop bar right here. Yes.
They got any game day deals? You guys?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right.
Just never know what's going to happen.
No, up a little higher.
Did anybody have a flashback of Bree?
Yeah,
I did. She was much more coherent than Bree was. Yes,
that's true.
Yes. We are,
Bree's pretty happy because last I saw CU was
defensively, though, I have a clip I want to play here in a second. I'll get to it. But no interceptions for Boise State's defense yet this year through 3 games. There's only 26 teams in the country that don't have an interception. Boise State's, really having a tough time turnover battle in general. Boise State soccer, there we go. All right. What do you see in terms of the no interceptions from the defense? And this Mateer has thrown some up that in harm's way. That is this the night you got to get 1 or 2?
I mean, certainly helps you, but if you create fumbles, I mean, whatever happens.
I do think they need some turnovers.
Yeah, exactly. But whether they get them off of tackles, fumbles, they don't care. I mean,
who cares?
And that's what I meant by whatever happens. However they get to 3 turnovers, they're not going to be concerned about how they came. But I do think if they're playing more zone, you're probably going to see more picks because there's more eyes on the ball.
Yep.
So,
and the other thing, hey, we talk about turnovers, just end +1 of the turnover margin, right? So if Boise State gives up 1, you got to get 2, right? I mean, that's where it has to even out. Yep. When at the end of the game we're sitting here talking and Boise State's -3 in the turnover margin, it's not going to be a very good post.
Absolutely. I think the other place where you'd love to see some difference is in the hidden yardage kind of. We need to, like, the average punt isn't nearly as important as the net punt.
Agreed.
So we got to do a good job of that today, whether it's kicking it away from them and not letting them get a return because we're down there down it, or it's out of bounds, or we hang it up high and cover it. But I think we'll have an opportunity to get a return or 2 off of their guys. Yep. So, I think those will be big plays.
Here's hold your thought 1 second, Brad. Here's a quick comment from Tyler Stockton, the defensive backs coach, safeties coach, and Eric Jander, defensive coordinator, on the lack of interceptions so far.
We got to win the battle for the ball. I mean, we got to do a great job in our coverage, and we got to win those one-on-one matchups. And hopefully, I mean, they come in spurts. So hopefully this week we start it up.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the celebration because it's been a while coming. They've had a lot of time to think about it, but they were talking about it. I really thought this week would be the week, where you might get one, just because it's been building and we've been real close on some balls, and we got close to a couple, Saturday night. It just hasn't happened yet, and I'd love to be able to tell you exactly why. We need to attack the ball a little bit better in practice, in my opinion, because guys are in some positions to make those plays. But I definitely think they're coming. I definitely think they will come. They need to come if we're going to continue to progress like we want to. And like you said, we got talented defensive backs, so their time's coming.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I talked to the guys. I'm sure if Tubes gets an interception, I got to calm him down because he might throw the ball into the stands with excitement. So they're eager to get one. I mean, it's a big challenge this week for us, and we're challenging those guys that we got to not only force fumbles, recover fumbles, but we got to get some turnovers from interceptions as well.
Hey, if Coach Chin says they're coming and Coach Stockton said they're coming, they're coming. So those guys, that means that's been a focus in practice. They've been working on it. They have a plan. But I will say this, as an offensive coach, which we've addressed many times, you would argue like you should never throw an interception. So, if the quarterback's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and the receivers are where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there, then you shouldn't throw a lot of interceptions.
The other thing is they come in spurts. You get one, all of a sudden one turns to three turns to 6, and now it's infectious.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just like look at Auburn. Look at the turnovers. They're infectious. Offensive turnovers. I think turnovers are like winning. It's like once you start winning, it becomes infectious. Once you start losing, it's like we're going to lose if you ever get down.
Yep.
And now when you start getting turnovers, they step on as a defense. They step on the field and goes, the ball's coming to us. Just get ready.
Yeah, no doubt. And part of that will be keeping this guy in the pocket.
I agree.
They do that, make him throw from there. Cloud his vision a little bit. They'll be doing, I'm sure, some different stuff with the coverage that, everybody makes adjustments and changes things a little bit game to game. So they'll have the opportunity, and don't be surprised if it's a pick 6 either.
Yeah, and confuse him and through your coverages. Pressure him when you need to pressure him. Keep him in the pocket, and then confuse him on coverages. If you're going to roll to 2, roll to 2. If you're going to go from 2, go down to 3. If you're going to keep your zone principles the same.
I think one of the funny things is, I think everybody has this impression that like in man coverage, that's where you get the picks. And hey, in the NFL, do they get some picks in man coverage? Yeah, because those DBs make unreal plays on the ball.
Better athletes.
But in college football, there's way more picks come, and even in the NFL, way more picks come from zone coverage because you got eyes on the ball.
And how many times, like for anybody like who's listening, and I'm glad you said that, is for the guy who swipes across, the corner or the safety that catches the slant, they're in zone coverage. Yeah. It's not man.
Separation.
Don't throw it there.
We're trying to give a shot here. We're on a cell phone. We're having trouble with the second camera. We wanted to show a shot of all the people walking by here. I mean, it's I don't know if it's always like this, and we just don't realize it because we're upstairs. But this is quite the crowd.
It is not always like this because when we walk down here, from where we parked it, I mean, totally different.
Another, by the way, folks are saying we should let those 2 gals run the post game instead of you guys. I'm out.
It's a total fair statement.
Let Bedell cook, somebody said.
No.
Another key for this game defensively for me is third downs for Boise State on defense. I know it's gotten a little better the last two games, but in the first game wasn't good, which skewed the numbers a little.
A little better? What was Oregon? They were like 4 for 12.
Okay, but through 3 games, they're 129th in the country through 3 games on third down.
Yeah.
How important against especially a guy that can on third down scramble and make things happen? How important is third down tonight?
I think once you get into third down, getting off the field is going to be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is Sean Monster.
Sean Monster.
Oh,
there he is.
Come on back here around for a second, Sean. You can use that mic right there. You guys can talk to him.
And we got the family too.
What's up, man?
What's good?
What's up? What we got going? How we doing? Go Boise. What we on? We live right now?
Yeah.
Okay, right on. I'm going Boise all the way. Bleed blue, baby. What's up, Coach Red?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You're doing in town and stuff.
Are you doing the 7-on-7 stuff still?
Yeah, I still do my 7-on-7 stuff. Oh, just we got Kingdom 7-on-7. We're big out here in the youth community. Got ages 8 all the way to 18. Got high school teams. They're all participating. Got out-of-state competition. Sometimes we host at Albertsons Stadium and all that stuff. We got a bunch of alumni Bronco involved. It's a great atmosphere. It's a great event all around.
I mean, how great is that?
No, it's
great
awesome.
play here.
Yeah.
Great player here. Won a lot of big games for us.
Sean's
but what he's doing within this community and the youth and teaching the game the right way.
Yes, sir.
And all that, I love what you're doing.
I was only good because I had great coaches like these 2 gentlemen up here.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Love it.
Love
it.
To see you, brother. Oh,
I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna go. It's gonna go high offensive scoring game. I definitely think 30+ points for Boise, and I'll say in the 20s for Wazoo, being generous. But
so 30-27.
Okay, we'll go.
No.
He wants accuracy. He wants specifics. Let's go 34-24.
So you got him covering.
Yeah. All right, thank you, guys.
Sean Modster, thanks for stopping by. Former Boise State receiver. Good to see you, man.
But hold on.
There's Rudy.
There he is.
I lost him for a minute.
What you were getting at on third down.
Third down defense. How important is it? But especially with a quarterback that scrambles like this.
You can't let him. You can't let him extend drives through scrambling. You got to keep him in the pocket and make him throw the ball, especially on 3rd and 8+.
Yeah.
If it's 3rd and 8+ and he gets out of the pocket and creates a first down, I believe that's a missed opportunity for Boise
I'm just gonna recap. So far we've said turnovers and third downs are important.
Like every game.
Should we add running the ball? Should we talk about that?
Actually,
No.
You didn't say that.
He did.
Oh, I actually have another one.
Yeah.
Running. What's wrong with that?
The run game. Well, I'm just saying. Like,
I got another one for you. Red zone.
There you go.
Yeah, I was actually.
If you win 3 out of the 4, I mean, unless you lose the turnover battle by 7, you're going to win.
But
so
I think third down. Yeah, third down's important. Like, get off the field on third down, especially. I'll say it again. 3rd and 8+. Do not let this guy extend the drive with his legs. I'll take this red zone.
You've been big on that. 13 for 15, I think, touchdowns through offensively.
Washington State has made a lot of teams settle for field goals.
Yep.
I believe 17. They've been to the red zone a buttload, which is a problem for them.
Right on defense, that's a deal, right? Once they get to the red zone, make them kick.
And they've set 17 field goals, I believe it is.
I don't believe they've seen anybody that can run the ball.
No,
as
I'm
well
with
as
you.
Boise State,
I'm with you.
I think that's a huge key.
But I said this on Wednesday. I said if they settle for a bunch of field goals in the first half, we're going to look at the fourth quarter, and Boise State's going to be kicking themselves in the ass, thinking, you know what, we didn't score touchdowns in the red zone. And if they make you settle for field goals, you're going to and let's say it's a high scoring game, you're going to be chasing your tail, in my opinion. So when you get in the red zone, you got to score touchdowns. Don't settle for field goals.
Absolutely.
We're going to try to lower this tent a little bit. We'll see if this is a good idea or a bad idea. We're blocking the there we go. That's much better. That's going to be much better on the there you go. We can actually see ourselves again on the nobody else is going to be able to see us, but
you guys put me over here on the end.
Oh well, that's much better for the view there. There we go.
Look at my man, the MVP right there. Is
Nathaniel,
the guy with the Miller,
former Buster Bronco.
Did you say Wyoming? Is that a Wyoming sweatshirt?
You can't confirm that.
Wyoming fans in the house here.
You're over.
All right, I'm going to get to a little package about Mateer here in a little bit, but let's flip it over to Boise State and the other side of this. Obviously, 84th in the country rushing defense for Washington State. Yeah. Ashton Genty kind of only played the first half. He's probably ready to go here. I mean, how big is Boise State's running game going to be a key tonight?
It's going to be huge, and I think you got to take advantage of that. But I'll say it again. I said it on.
Somebody else knows.
I told you he could run for mayor. But the other thing is, I want to see some play action early to lighten up the box. That's what I want to see, and maybe get a couple of shot plays.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see. I think you're going to see some. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If the coverage is right, they're going to run the ball. But if they're going to go in with some of the kill plays and whatever, and I would expect to see us maybe take a few shots over the top early, and maybe over top's not the right word, but downfield throws,
chunk plays,
because Washington State's going to play with a closed middle most of the time
to get the
so you're not going to get a ton of over the top. But what you can do is clear out one of the zones and run another guy through, and I think you're going to see some of that.
If they come out in cover 2, you know what? I'm so confident in this. If they come out in cover 2, I will donate $100 to somebody's
you might
charity.
see quarters, so let's make sure everybody's
with their
on
defensive coordinator. I mean, you might have an advantage here. Come on.
But safeties, cover 4, safeties within 8 yards.
Yeah.
10 yards, not the typical 14 to 16 in coverage.
Smeds is not a big quarters. I mean, he plays quarters, but he's much more single safety.
I agree.
So
that to open up the run game, Genty's going to have to make the extra guy miss. He makes it. Now we're looking at 20-yard gains, and then it's touchdowns.
I mean, offensively too. I've reported not sounding good for Latrell Caples playing today. I think he's out for a while. Obviously, Cam Camper's done his thing, but Strawn, Bull, we need some more of these guys to really step up. How much?
Those would be a good chance to see.
I was going to say, how much is the passing game? really need to get going tonight to try to keep them from. Oh no, somebody else. Here we go. Unreal. Good to see you. How much do they need to get the passing game going, maybe especially early, so they don't just stack the box in the run game?
Well, I'm sure that'll be part of the game plan. When they're stacking the box, throw it. Unless they can eliminate backside guys, which they'll try and do with some of the naked stuff. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. Is the quarterbacks carrying out their fakes and making it hard to tell where the ball is, which it is in every game. Don't get me wrong, but they'll be doing stuff to control the backside safeties and that extra guy dropping into the box and attack the front side.
A lot of play action tonight, maybe too.
I hope so. Yeah, I'd love to see not only play action, get him out of the pocket. Where make him throw on the run a little bit, get the tight ends involved, especially in the play action game. And if it's single safety, you're not going to be throwing a whole lot of posts, right? I mean, it's not going to be the answer. But if you can get them out of one high, and now you're playing that chess game, you're playing the chess game. And in the chess game right now is get them out of one high. That means you got some shots on them. And then here we go. Start handing the ball off. Next thing you know, you look up and he's rushed for 200 yards and you're up by 21.
Ashton Genty, I think last year had almost 50 catches. They really have not used the running backs much at all so far in the passing game through 3 games, swing passes, whatever. Have you guys noticed anything? Is it just game plan stuff? Is this the game? Maybe you see some more of the screen passes and things to the running backs?
Well, I think most of the times you saw Ashton catching the ball was against man coverage because he's such a tough matchup. And I don't think we've seen a ton of man coverage yet.
Not a great sample size.
Yeah, small sample size. Yeah, I mean, even last week, they certainly weren't going to do anything to tip their hand for this week. So, yeah, do I think that's possible? Absolutely. And Washington State will do a good job in coverage. So, there may be some more checkdowns where we throw it to him for 4 and he turns it into 15.
Agreed.
So I think that'll happen, but it'll be fun.
There you go. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. A lot of fans here.
I love. We haven't even seen him in the screen game.
Haven't seen what?
We haven't seen Genty in the screen game.
That's what I'm saying.
They haven't
used, Bush loved using the screens last year. We really haven't seen much of any of that this year.
Yeah, we'll see some.
Hey,
but they'll do it when it's supposed to happen.
Hey, I'm glad you said that. Shout out to Bush. Going into Ole Miss and beating Ole Miss.
Big dub.
I'm a huge fan of Bush. I love Bush. I've worked with Bush. I'm very happy for Bush. I know. Oh, he went to Kentucky.
Bush Hamden.
Yes. He goes to Kentucky, but shout out going into Ole Miss for the first time since 1978. To beat Ole Miss at Ole Miss.
Let's get into some of those other scores here in just a second. Do want to tell you about Western Collective. Don't forget, if you are going into the stadium, you can get the Horseshoe Golden Ale. It is available inside the stadium. They've also got the Orange Chaos Seltzer, both available inside Albertsons Stadium. So if you're heading into the game, make sure you pick up a Horseshoe Golden Ale. They sell it here at the James as well. So make sure you pick up Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer, available at most retailers around town and inside Albertsons Stadium. Our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Check them out. ROEpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. Check them out. Best in the business. All your painting needs, including those concrete coatings. Highly recommend them. There would be no B&N without rowpaint.com. So your next painting project, make sure you return the favor at Bronco Nation News and rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Tyson Degenhart show is coming up pretty soon, but ICCU, we appreciate them. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there on your smartphone in your pocket. So check them out. One of our major sponsors, we appreciate them, Idaho Central Credit Union. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out online at bauscherrealestate.com. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. Locations across the valley, across the state of Idaho. Make sure you support our sponsors, shop ridleys.com, Ridley's Family Markets. Again, we're live at the James. We're going to get into some other scores, a lot still to get to here. But first, the spa team, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978, part of the Boise State home team. Again, looking for a spa for the back patio, pool table for the game room, a sauna. They can take care of you. Check them out online. View that full inventory at Snake River Pool and Spa at the spa team.
It's a real party now. We got the
All right, what do we got going on here? I don't know what's going on. We got the fire truck pulling in. Hopefully nothing's going on there. But
means it's a great tailgate somewhere.
Rid, we are here at the James. Tell folks here why you guys said it's as packed in there as you've seen it, but whether it's a game day, whether it's Sunday to watch football and have brunch, whether it's happy hour, the James Kitchen and Bar needs to be folks' spot to come hang.
Great food. Scott, the executive chef here, and then the staff that's on site all the time. But great food, great drinks, and then probably the best thing I think about it, the service you get. From the management team all the way down, every server, so you hit it right. You might catch Billy Bones in here working on the staff.
Yeah.
But
Tuesdays the day.
Tuesdays, come on. Yeah, we're here. We'd love to get everybody down here. Make it a fun evening. So.
And if you're around, the offer stands. Your first Horseshoe Golden Ale is on BNN. If you come down and watch the show and ask a question in person, so we are live at the James.
Best chance to get an actual question answered.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
we are live here at the James Kitchen and Bar. We mentioned John Mateer, their quarterback, and the challenge that's going to be. Let's hear from some of the Boise State coaches talking about the challenge of stopping the Washington State quarterback.
Because his name is John, and he reminds me of Johnny Football. So I'm going to give him his new nickname right now, Johnny Football 2.0. He's top 15 in rushing, top 15 in passing. He's number 3 overall in total offense. So we got to do a great job in coverage, but then we also got to do a great job with him in the quarterback run game. So it's 11 on 11. So it's like we're really playing basketball on grass. Normally you have not a dual threat quarterback that you don't have to count for a lot. If he's dropping back, he's going to throw it, and then if he doesn't, he might get sacked. This guy is 11 on 11, and he's one of the best players in the country. So I'm fired up for Bronco Nation to make it as loud as possible to help us out on defense. Hopefully we got 12 people on the field at all times, counting the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, we had a mobile quarterback last week. I think Mateer's on his own level right now. I mean, I don't know what he is. He's top 5 rushing in the country, I believe. He's rushed for a ton of yards on not as many carries as you want somebody to have for having that many yards. So he's turned runs into explosives, designed QB runs. He's also got a lot of yards rushing when the pocket breaks down or the coverage is really good, and he's able to find some scramble lanes. So a lot of difficulties, always trying to get enough people in the box to stop those design QB runs, and then finding a way to either keep him in the pocket or have somebody on him during the pass game.
Oh, yeah, he does a great job throwing on the run. There's been several times where, especially down in the red zone, he scrambles, he gets out, the defenders start pursuing, he just dips it off to one of his players. So, I mean, we got to do a great job plastering. If he does get out, just staying on body on our coverage, we got to do a great job in our rush lanes as well against him. I mean, it's an unbelievable challenge for our defense. And like Coach D just mentioned before, I mean, we had all hands on deck playing quarterback this week. DJ Killens, a former NFL player that's on our staff, was running around there going live contact on him. So we're definitely prepared, but I can't wait for Saturday.
Well, third down's always important. Doesn't matter where you're at. And I would say it's ultra important when you play with an elite quarterback like he is. So yeah, you've got to have a plan for him. He's elite with his feet. He's a very strong, he breaks a lot of tackles. He makes people miss, but he throws the ball well too. And he throws it fast. So yeah, it's definitely something you're going to game plan as much as you can for it, and then you've got to be able to step up in those situations, and we got to make sure our kids, we put them in positions to make plays and get off the field on third down.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and it happens both ways. They do definitely have plenty of design QB runs, some QB counters, some draw game, some read option stuff where he can pull the ball, and then, like you said, pocket breaks down, and he can just make it happen. Extremely good athlete. He got in the game last year and played some other positions, so he's a good athlete. I mean, he's like 220 pounds, so he's put together well. He runs the football hard. He's like a running back once the pocket breaks down.
To me, like a guy like him, I mean, you got to be able to mix it up. You can't just always drop 8, because he'll just sit there and think that, hey, he can outrun some of the defenders, but really we got to do a great job in those situations trying to get after him. And I think the biggest thing, he has an unbelievable arm. Coach Collins was just talking about fastball. He has a fastball. There is no changeup with him, so I think he trusts his arm a lot. He trusts his wide receivers, so when the ball's in there, we got to go make plays.
All right, and again, you hear the coaches talk about it. What's going on, man? You trying to go on? All right, come on, real quick. We're live here. Give him a turn. Jaden, turn the All right, man. We got guests coming by. Your name and your thoughts here, I guess.
Do you have a whole?
What do we got here? What do we got here? Oh, you're doing a Snapchat. All right, go ahead.
Andre Kaluga, Boise State, 24-0 at halftime. That's all my thoughts.
24-0 at half.
24-0
Okay.
at half.
BSU, WSU, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right, man. Great. Good luck with the prediction.
That's bold.
Take 2 shots.
How was Burger King?
No, Burger Belly. I went to Burger Belly. Burger Belly's not. Burger King is not good. Go to Burger Belly at halftime.
What's up with the hat?
Yeah, you should be going to Taco Bell, our sponsor.
Oh,
All
I
right.
gotcha.
You should be going to Taco Bell, our sponsor, anyway. So appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on. He's got down a little bit
I
more.
like it.
He's got 24-0 at halftime. That would be quite the first half for Boise State if that happened.
There's going to be he said he'll take 2 shots. There's going to be a lot more shots if they're up 24-0 in the press box area. Yeah. I think my man.
Back to what you heard about Mateer though from the coaches.
Yeah.
What I mean, does that keep you? I maybe you guys have a not the same thing because you're offensive coaches, but for a defensive coordinator and coach, I mean, does that keep you up at night knowing you got to face a guy like this?
It would be me.
I would just start like nothing keeps me up at night anymore.
Yeah, I don't have to live this.
Yeah, but no, I'm sure they spent a lot of time working on that and what the plan is, and I think obviously they rep the plan in meetings and talked about it and all that, but I think one of the things Boise State does so well is they rep the plan in individual periods. Like, hey, here's the plan, and we all need to be bought into the plan or it's not going to work. If one guy goes rogue and he's like, I'm getting a sack, I'm blowing by the tackle and opens up the C gap or B gap, like you were talking, I mean, that's going to be a major problem.
The other thing is, Riddle, I thought it was interesting.
At some point, let me say this, at some point it's going to happen.
Oh, it's
right.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not going to stop the kid.
Yeah.
Like of a whole, they're not going to shut him down at negative yards rushing.
Right.
But I thought an interesting clip in there that is very interesting is the scout team quarterback was live. I mean,
I believe it was a GA.
That's unheard of. I mean, obviously GAs, you can hit the crap out of them. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't a lot of quarterbacks are just not live. So that means that in their preparation, like, guys, you better tackle in space, which you mentioned earlier, and made them tackle. And that's a physical week of practice.
Yeah.
And I believe
trust me, these guys have a plan. Chins has seen through his days in the Big Ten, days at UCF, like he's seen plenty of running quarterbacks.
Well,
they're going to have a plan for this.
He had to be prepared for it when he was working with Scott Frost at Central Florida.
Well, Stacey Collins at Penn State last year, Tyler Stockton in the MAC. I mean, these guys have seen lots of different things. They'll be equipped to handle this.
Red, I know you said I've been hitting the cliches on the keys to win. I got one more for you. Any guesses?
Let's see. We've hit turnovers, red zone, third downs, running game.
How about special teams?
Special team. Okay. Well, I said hidden yardage.
It's been up and down for Boise State this year. They've had the 2 blocked kicks last week were great. Obviously,
they got a hand on a punt too.
Giving up the returns, but still the net punting, I think, is 130th in the country. You had the shank by JFR that kind of skewed the numbers a little bit. But I talked to him this week. I was going to play it, but I don't know if I will. But and somebody got special teams, Devo Bronk. There you go. Again, in a game that we expect to be close, probably come down to the fourth quarter, those hidden yards, as you call it. I mean, just how important are special teams? And Jonah Dalmas, I think, is only because they're scoring so many touchdowns in the red zone. He's still 16 away. He's only got 2 made field goals in 3 games. We thought that NCAA record was going to be a lock. He still needs 16 field goals in the next 9 games here. Moving on.
I love Jonah, and I'd love.
You hope you don't see him kicking field goals.
Yeah, I want to see him kick. Like, they can kick field goals at the end of games.
But he's not necessarily, he just hasn't had a lot of opportunities.
No.
JFR admitted he struggled a little bit. He said he told me that, and you can go watch the interview, folks, after the show on the YouTube channel. He told me he's going to, quote, kick angry the rest of the season because he's kind of disappointed with how he's punted the ball so far. Just in general, the return game, whichever way you want to take it, what are your thoughts on special teams so far? And I know, cliche, but in a game like this, how big is special teams?
So here's the thing I would say. Early in the season, if you give up a big return, which we did against Oregon for a touchdown, you're going to be at the bottom of the standings for a long time.
And
it's just the nature of it.
13-yard shank.
And the that combined with how good we've been and efficient on offense, you're not getting a ton of
opportunities,
ton of reps. So I think my guess is we're going to continue to be efficient on offense. It's probably going to look like that for a while. So if you just take the number of where you are, but I think the real important thing is where do we go from here? We could finish in the top 10 the rest of the year, and I'm just telling you the numbers at the end of the year, you're going to be down there at the 100. So I think seeing those guys just improve from here and trying to be a top 10 team from here, and I feel like they will. But I kind of said it earlier. I mean, we can't worry about the length of the punt. It's got to be way more about the placement of the punt. The net punt is way more important than the punt average.
Yeah.
And that's on everybody.
It's
not on one person.
net punting.
It's not on one person. It's on everybody. I'm not trying to make it sound like it is. But we got to have hang time. We got to have a great snap. We got to have great protection.
This guy knows a thing or two about special teams.
A little bit, and I'm glad you said that, because the only time I heard Rid on the headset say, "Oh no, he hit a line drive," is because the coverage can't get there. The coverage team can't get there. He's like, "We need hang time." Because now you can.
One of our buddies, John Bonamego.
Yep.
Used to tell me he was a longtime NFL special teams coach. Bono used to be like, I'd pull the guys aside and say, "Hey, look, MFers, like if you hit that ball to him right down there, like we might as well hand the ball to him and hit a starter gun and say, on your marks, get set, go, and see how fast he can run a 40." So it's the whole operation, hang time, like that's all built into coverage. And when you don't hit those marks, somebody might make a great play and bail you out, but it's really hard.
You make one tackler miss when you hit a line drive. You haven't corralled the returner, and now you're like, "Oh shit! Oh, he just dropped a seat."
But anyway, I know they're working on that. I know that's a big deal to everybody, and that's awesome to hear JFR say like, "Hey, I'm gonna kick angry and be better." I would assume that means with more hang time.
I would hope so.
And if he gets inside the 20, he donates $20 to breast cancer. His mother is recovering from breast cancer, doing very well now, apparently. And it's great to hear. Awesome to hear.
And he's been awesome at that. Yep. The problem is he just had many opportunities to do it, because
it's a good problem.
We get over, we kind of get to the minus 45. That's where he's been so effective. And the problem is for him, not for Boise State, we get to the minus 45, we kind of tend to keep going all the way down, and score. So,
but field position, it does seem, will be a key tonight.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I think it always is. Yeah. You don't want to give up. I think at the end of the night, if you look at special teams, if the punting's effective, you don't give up an explosive, you win the hitting yardage, special teams, you've played your third of the game. In my opinion.
And I don't think there'll probably be a ton of return opportunities. I think both guys will probably bang it pretty good into the end zone. Boise State, I think, was working a little bit on, hey, if we can't get it deep into the end zone.
They were doing some pooch kicks on the kickoff last week.
Absolutely.
They just to put more on film for other teams to have to worry about mostly. But
and probably to work on it, because there's no better time to work on stuff than live. So, at that point in the game, I think they felt like, hey, we don't need to just kick it into the end zone and get touchbacks. We know we can do that. Let's hang it up and work on our coverage and our pooch game in case we run into a situation where we're not getting it into the end zone consistently.
Hey, Lithia Ford of Boise, we appreciate them. Their fall kickoff sales going on. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com. View their full inventory of vehicles. Again, 4 football players, including Jonah Dalmas there, speaking of special teams, rocking a vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise. So check them out online, Lithia Ford Boise, LithiaFordBoise.com. TacoBellWorks.com. You looking for a job? Check out TacoBellWorks.com. Taco Bell is hiring, and they can help you get going. You get half your wages the next day after for your shift. Free food while you work. What could be better? We appreciate our friends at Taco Bell. Make sure you check out TacoBellWorks.com. TransCompService.com. Speaking of looking for a job, check them out as well. Transportation Compliance Service. Get into the trucking industry if you're looking for a job, and they can help you with the permits and things you need. Get out there towing that first load in no time. So check them out online, TransCompService.com. Guys, we're looking at the scoreboard here. We'll start with the Mountain West. What can you say about UNLV? They have all the turmoil with the quarterback, all the stuff going on. You saw Jackson Woodard, their star linebacker, when they announced the other, he had left and the other guy came in as QB1. His first tweet was "about time," and they got behind this dude. And Mr. Williams threw for over 200 yards, I believe, or close to 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also rushed for 119 yards and a touchdown. They take it to Fresno State as it was basically a pick'em game in Vegas. They win 59-14.
Fresno sucks.
UNLV 4-0 now. This QB looks legit.
I'm going to say one thing about this game and one thing only. UNLV is really good. Fresno's not great. But, but the thing I actually want to say about it is you never know what's going on behind closed doors. And none of us ever should, because the stuff that gets out is probably from somebody that's a little bit maybe on the fringe. So the real core of the team, like, we don't know what's going on with UNLV. We don't know what's going on with Fresno. We don't know, that's meant to be for the team. And I think the good teams really control that stuff. And that's why you rarely get stuff out of Boise State. The bad teams, like, whatever. But I would say UNLV, like, how many other players did you hear comment about the whole thing all week? Maybe until after the game. So
yeah. I mean, they rally around the guy, and I mean, the kid had a great game. He was ready to play. I mean,
the coaches know what they're doing. Not to say that they were playing the wrong guy all along, but this guy certainly looks like he's more than capable of picking off where that dude left off.
It sounded like he thought it was his job anyway. So he came in and said, "I'm going to prove it was my job." And it also helps that he went and faced a donkey in his first start. Fresno sucks.
Central Michigan beats San Diego State 22-21. San Diego State goes on the road. They're now 1-3. They lose to Central Michigan. You also have Wyoming up 7-0 right now on Air Force early in that one, and New Mexico up 7-0 on New Mexico State. Some other scores, guys. I know you like to give me crap for my Jayhawks, and it's obviously
speaking of shitty.
Been a rough year for them. But did you see what Eric McAllister did today? Eric McAllister with a touchdown, and it was an impressive play too. This again.
I missed D-Mac's touchdown.
4th straight game that Kansas had the lead early in the 4th quarter and lost, and it was because of a punt return, special teams.
I saw the punt
TCU
return.
had the punt return, like 85 yards to score, and then Eric McAllister makes a great catch, makes a couple guys miss, and it was like a 50-yard touchdown for EMAC.
That's awesome.
And that sealed the deal for TCU over Kansas.
Hey, man, everybody deserves a second opportunity, and it's awesome to see EMAC making the most of it.
They lost because of those red uniforms.
My daughter saw them on campus somewhere the other day, so I was like, go say hi. But she didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How about, hey, hold on. Alabama's putting it to Georgia, 14-0.
20-0 now. They just scored again.
Still early, but I don't want to face an underdog Alabama team in Tuscaloosa.
No. And Kalen DeBoer, let's be honest, hell of a coach. So not surprising if they're putting it together.
Penn State, Illinois, 7-7 there early in that one as well. Like early second quarter.
That's a classic Big Ten game. It's going to be a battle.
You mean the Rutgers-Washington game last night wasn't a classic Big Ten
classic
game?
Big Ten also. I mean, but Brad knows this. Brett Bielema, I think, is one of the most underrated coaches in the country. That dude, knows football.
Yeah. You give him time, look out.
That guy's building a program there, and it not to say it's going to be easy at a place like Illinois, but those guys will be.
I agree.
They're going to do good things. Mark Stoops and Brett Bielema, teammates at Iowa, by the way. So it's not a coincidence. Both those guys kind of building their programs similar and fun to watch.
Well, we were counting the profane words on the postgame show. Now I think this time we need to start counting people Rid knows on the pregame show. We're at 10, 12. I mean,
dead ass, bro.
Maybe he'll have another.
Don't find me for that.
I'm saying just to keep track.
I'll tell you what.
It's pretty impressive.
SC was getting their brakes beat off at halftime.
21-10 they were down. Came back 28-0 in the second half.
I mean, that's impressive by SC making that Big Ten, facing a physical Wisconsin team.
Minnesota hung in there with Michigan.
They were down big. They came back with 21 points in the fourth quarter, but Minnesota falls at the Big House. Michigan hangs on 27-24. Notre Dame wins 31-24 as well. And you mentioned it earlier,
I'd love to see Boise State play Notre Dame this year. Like, why do we have to wait till next year?
Yeah,
either you guys ever coached there?
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
I've been there. I haven't not coached there. I did there for recruiting.
Yeah, I coached
with Army or what?
With Army.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Clemson? What's the Clemson?
They're up 10-0, I believe.
Yeah, I need some scores.
I want to bring it up again though. Kentucky though, 20-17, going to Ole Miss, beating number 6 Ole Miss.
Hell yeah, Bush Hamden, Mark Stoops, awesome.
Great job, especially for a team, an offensive power team. Now going into Ole Miss is not. It's not like going into Tuscaloosa or Jordan Hare or. I tell you what, Mississippi State's even worse because that stupid cowbell.
Yep.
But I mean, you go in there. You haven't beaten a team since 1978, and you go in and beat them. That's a great win for that football program. And they go in and they beat number 6. And I like people that I've worked with and I support go out there and get wins. I mean, that's what's the greatest thing about this.
I hope Bush gets off the plane tonight, have his one glass of red wine, and then hopefully my man can get some rest and get a nap.
I really just hope he doesn't go back. He drinks the glass of red wine in his car and then goes into his office because I would not put that past him.
Well, or glass of red wine at the desk.
Or at the desk and watch the game, and he'll be there till 4 a.m. watching their next opponent. I mean, that guy, he you want to talk about I'm always worried about the next opponent in the paranoid life? There's Bush Hamden.
Yeah.
Texas wins 35-13. Number 1 Texas now 5-0. They beat Mississippi State. LSU up 21-0 on South Alabama. Ohio State has scored again to go up 17-7. And then Clemson, again, big ACC battle with Stanford, 10-0 there, getting closer
I'll tell you
to
the surprising
halftime.
one. I need Iowa State only up 3-0 on Houston.
Yeah, a bad Houston team. I need Clemson to get going a little.
What do we need?
I need Clemson to score.
Okay. Well, our man Barry.
Barry.
Oh, I could use some ice water.
Bringing some water there. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it. Hey, the Blue and Orange Store. Check them out, theblueandorange.com. We're having fun here at the James Kitchen and Bar, but next time you're looking for some Boise State gear, make sure you hit up the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Again, all your Boise State gear. It's a blue out tonight. Hopefully you got your blue for tonight at the Blue and Orange Store, but whether it's jerseys, caps, all that stuff, make sure you check it out. And I think tonight, Brad, might be our night, hopefully, with Breezy.
Yeah, I would assume he's close to getting back.
I think he's in tonight, and I think Sire Gaines is out. That's what I'm seeing and hearing.
That's what you think? Okay.
Then
let's roll with BJ. That's what he thinks, and that's awesome.
I would say it's a little better than thinks, I guess. But
I hope not.
Yeah. But if Breezy Dubar can get a touchdown, you get $1 hot dog and soda at Jackson's.
Get over there and get to Jackson's one way or another.
Yes.
Whether it's for
if Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack, 91 cents for a coffee or soda.
If not, just go support them because awesome local company.
And they got a huge tailgate going on too. So you need to kind of make this your plan where you come to the James, have a couple drinks, hang out, and then head over. And they got like all kinds of free games and things over in the Jackson's tailgate right there on the corner.
And then just wander through the parking lot. Good things will happen.
Matt Bauscher, our realtor, our sponsor, has a big tailgate I know over in the practice field. So I know there's a lot going on over there. Yeah. Get over to Jackson's. We appreciate them. And I do want to thank Lean Feast as well, leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out, leanfeastmeridian.com. 10,000 combinations, healthy eating, and it's all deliverable as well. So no excuse to not start eating healthy. We appreciate our friends at leanfeastmeridian.com. Rid, do we know the guests yet for Tuesday? If you don't say it, if you don't know. Okay.
No, I think we had a little scheduling snafu. But I believe we're working on I don't know if we'll ever top College and Tharp together. We might just bring them back for round 2. Who knows? That could go on forever. We get Bedell on there. He played with Darren with the Packers. So we can get some of those stories. Maybe we can phone Ben Steele in. But
now we're talking.
Yeah. He told me he didn't. Did you guys cross paths with College?
No. I don't know.
I wasn't sure what were the years?
How old's College?
What years were you?
I don't know.
I'm old. I'm 47. I almost said it. I didn't.
Now, he was a tackle at Boise State, but then he was guard in the NFL. Is that what it was for college?
He went to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Because he started that
was a
run.
good player.
He started that run of all the left tackles getting drafted for Boise State.
And then
Matt Hill.
Okay.
Matt Hill actually started.
Well, I think it was multi-year starters or something. I know college was involved in that run.
Oh, he was. He was the second guy.
It was Matt Hill, Darren College,
Ryan Clady,
Bears, and Commanders.
Charles Leno,
Ezra Cleveland,
Reese
Odiombo, Cleveland.
Ezra Cleveland.
Arch.
And they most of them bumped down to guard.
Folks asking about the official injury report. Nothing's official yet, but if I had to just give you an educated guess, I don't think you're going to see. Look what we got over here. We got Mr. Shoemaker.
Last week it was.
Come around this way. Can you move the light so it's not blocking his view?
Last week it was Derek Schumann out here. This week it's Tyler Shoemaker.
Yeah. Tyler, I feel like I owe you another quick interview because you got screwed on the pregame. You could take the mic, but I know you were our guest for the Oregon game. We had a little snafu with the audio, but now we're doing much better. How you doing, man?
Doing really good. Thanks for having me, BJ. Yeah, no worries, man. It was a busy game for the Oregon game. We had it packed down at Western Collective, so good times. Thanks for having me again.
We might have to get Tyler in on the Tuesday night.
Riley and Ridge show. We need to make it happen. Well, what are your thoughts on the game tonight, man?
Big one. You know, Wazoo's played well the first 4 games. Obviously, Broncos are on a good path right now. I think it's a great home test, right? It's great to be here in front of the Bronco fan base. Boise State's going to bring it. We see the crowds are already building up here tonight. So big one for the Broncos. Let's get it.
As a guy that's, played in some big games on the blue and stuff, I mean, just knowing what those players are probably feeling and what the crowd's going to be like tonight, does it bring back some memories of some of the bigger games you played here?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, shades of the, Oregon games, Oregon State, all the big opponents that we hosted at home, TCU. The expectations are high. It's a home game. You got the crowd behind you. The record on the blue is one of those things that we hold really near and dear to our hearts as Broncos. So
this is a guy like that, probably a few of the last times that it's been packed like this. So a guy that can really talk about the atmosphere here, Tyler.
Atmosphere is top notch. I mean, for 36,000, they pack it out. It feels like 56,000. So we love it. Go Broncos, Bronco Nation. We love you guys.
The real thing we probably should be talking about is key to the game. How many Wazoo false starts?
Good question. What's your over under?
False starts?
Yeah. Okay, I'll set it at 3. I'll set it at 3.
I'm gonna go 4.
Over.
I like the
Appreciate
over.
it, Tyler. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Tyler Shoemaker, one of the all-time great wide receivers at Boise State. This is why we picked. There's your Wyoming fan again. I got a jersey, another Wyoming fan. I guess. Yeah.
But you guys are winning.
You're up 7-0.
You're up 7-0.
They're 0-4.
I know you're over. I hear you.
I've decided this spot's better. Maybe you got random people walking by. We've had 2 guests already come on.
BJ,
So.
Whoa. Once it starts getting cold,
until it gets cold.
We'll be inside when it gets cold. We would be inside,
I'll be shaking like a crackhead when it's cold.
All right. Somebody was asking about the injury report, and then I want to get to our final kind of thoughts here and predictions. Yeah, folks are enjoying seeing Shu. I am guessing that Latrell Caples is out, and I'm guessing that Sire Gaines is out, and I think unfortunately both those guys are out for a little while. But I do think Breezy Dubar is going to get back in there tonight. So I guess good timing that if you do lose Sire, you get Breezy back same game.
Hey, and I think we showed our running back depth last week. So if we got to go down a little bit further, that's okay too. But I feel good about where we're at in regards to that. So
holy cow.
Yeah, somebody's excited over there.
Excited.
I think they thought the Broncos scored a touchdown, or maybe Clemson scored. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
It'd be awesome.
I just got the text that Fox has utilized their 5-minute slide, so kickoff now is 8:10.
Shocker.
8:10 kickoff tonight. So I guess we can go a couple more minutes then.
Never mind. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say though, it really is awesome to see all Bronco Nation out here, and it's cool, like waving at all the fans. And yeah,
this is cool.
I happen to know a couple of them. That's great.
You mentioned the false starts though, and the crowd and the atmosphere, and as we kind of transition this back to this game, and you guys have both coached, and I don't know if you have a favorite memory of a home game on the blue or what, but
I promise you, Schmeds and Frank Miley,
they're trying to get them.
Are trying to tell them, like, guys, I'm telling you, it's gonna be loud, and those guys are like, we played at the Rose Bowl, it was 100,000, we played wherever. I'm just telling you, Bronco Stadium's louder and harder to hear.
And at 8:10. it's going to be almost pitch black. So by the pregame light show, even for kickoffs, already going to be rolling. That place is going to be juiced.
8:10 is at least 2 or 3 more beers.
For them, not him. For them, not you.
Hey, I just want to encourage everybody to don't go too hard. Make it to kickoff.
Yeah.
Right. And then we can see how the game goes from there. We'll see where everybody's at.
To build on the crowd noise, I'd like to see Boise State come out and stem a little bit, make some move calls, get some offensive linemen jump in and create.
I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see some of that.
What do you guys make of that? Because I know they do that to move, but also it does cause them to jump. And I know that's the way the rule's written. You can't cause the offense to false start.
Rule, but it's also a standard football play. So if a linebacker walks in the line of scrimmage and yells "move" and the O-line moves, you can get the defense for a false start. But
the problem is if
D-line,
linebackers
or stimulate snap count.
There you go. There you go. What's up, man? There you go. We got fans.
So if you simulate a snap count, it's going to be on the defense. But I would love. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances and get a 1st and 15, right? And if 1st and 5, whatever. Okay, get the first down. I don't care, but I'll take 1st and 15 and take my chance.
I mean, you guys have played obviously on the road in some crazy atmospheres.
That's why you want a night game.
That's what I'm saying. A night game here, and I mean, what is the Washington State offense in for? And what does what? I know silent count all this, but I mean, just how much harder is it for an offense when it's a loud, packed crowd?
It's everything because remember, so as an offensive line guy, your tackles, your right tackle, your left tackle, they've got to worry about blitz to the outside of the box. So they're going to use their peripheral vision to try to see. So he lifts his head. Are we going? All right, 1001, I'm gone. Right. And so he's trying to see out of the right tackle, his left eye, the ball, his right side, the D end. He's going to take a quick check.
Movement going inside.
And you got this and that. And they get real nervous and they get real anxiety. And
if they get off late, that's just as good too.
It's
right?
a sack, yeah. It's even better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So because you're looking at an 8-yard sack, so I think that's important. And night games, I've always been this, especially at Auburn, if you play LSU at night, is different than playing LSU during the day. If you play in Jordan-Hare at the day, it's way different than playing Jordan-Hare at night. Boise State in a night game with this crowd, this atmosphere, this team coming in, this place should be rocking. And I agree with Rid. Washington State may say we play at the Rose Bowl for a UCLA that puts banners on the end zones. Okay, because they can't.
Or at Oregon or Oregon State or
Oregon's
wherever.
Oregon's one of the loudest in the country. But I'll tell you this right now. They think they know what they're in for. I don't think they don't know what they're in for.
No.
They don't know.
And I'm telling you, I mean, I've sat there and been that coach. Hey guys, I'm just telling you, this is going to be loud. It's going to be different. It's going to be, oh yeah, we got you, coach. Okay, yeah. And then it's it was loud.
Yeah, in one ear, out the other.
Yeah, it was
try to tell.
And they probably think, we've played in some bigger Pac-12 stadiums, that kind of thing. How 36,000,
They've been in the Apple Cup. Washington is a very loud stadium. So these kids, they know loud, but it doesn't. If they know loud, but what they're anticipating is different than what they're getting. Right. These kids are thinking I've played in these places. They have no idea. And all of a sudden they get in, they're like, I can't hear. It's hey, dumbass, we told you you weren't going to be able to hear. And now that's on their brain.
Right.
Now,
they start panicking, right? It's not like you can just, I think in the NFL, maybe you can reset to oh, okay, I've done this before. In college, that's
you're asking
a lot.
Yeah. In the NFL, they're having questions about stock options on the sideline, then they can go and rip it up. I mean, that's a different.
And I love the graphic they play with Oprah Winfrey for the false starts on the thing. They're like, you get a false start, you get a false start, and they just have that thing going. And like you said, we kind of just once it starts going, it caves in on those guys, and the crowd gets louder and louder, and it's super tough. All right, so a final thing as we kind of wrap this up, just your final thoughts, your final keys, and maybe a prediction for this one, Kent.
Yeah. I love Boise State. I mean, in this game, I love Boise State anyway. But no, I
what do they got to do to win this one tonight?
Don't make me hit it again. All right, turnovers.
Here we go.
Red zone.
So you're saying it, not me.
Run game.
So you're saying it, not me.
No, but it's the same thing. And like that, I would tell you the exact same thing next week. Outside of those things, I think hit a couple explosive plays, keep their QB in the pocket, make him throw the ball. If that dude if we come back here after the game and he threw for 600 yards, God bless him. More power to him.
They did a better job.
Yep, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I like Boise State. Like
our previous guy with
35 to 21, 35-17.
I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. I got like 45-35 or something. I mean, the over under 64.
Hey,
I got.
How good do we think San Jose is for real?
I haven't watched them.
I watched them.
Double overtime. They did score 52 points. So you're saying maybe you're. I think Boise State's going to put up some points. I do.
I agree, and I
also take the Apple Cup out of it because it's like a horrible Auburn team can play Alabama tough.
And that was in Seattle too, so it's neutral site. I mean, it was in Huskies there in the Seahawks Stadium, neutral site.
The one thing I do want to see going into this game is starting fast. To this momentum is already on their side with this crowd. Start fast, keep them in it.
Yep.
Keep it loud. Those types of things. That's an important thing to me. And I would say the other one is besides all the cliche stuff, but I want touchdowns in the red zone. I don't want you can't settle for field goals. And if they do that, I'm going to do 48-40 Boise State.
I got 45-35, something like that. So I think that's it should be fun. Excited about it. Appreciate you guys for doing this. We're going to unpack here and move everything inside so we can be ready for the post-game show. We're hoping within 10-15 minutes of the game ending. So pretty quickly when that game ends, we'll make our way over here, flip on the YouTube channel. We'll have the post-game show. These guys will be breaking down the game, and we'll get that rolling as soon as we can after the game ends. So, Brad, can't appreciate you guys. It was fun. Going to be this is, is a media member too. It's one of the, you get excited for big games, and Brad finally finds somebody he knows. No. There's Riley Wimpy.
This other bar is going off.
Yeah, Riley Wimpy. There he is, Riley Wimpy in the house. What'd you say? There's another bar over here.
Some other bar. Is that the Rock Bar? They're going off. I'm already hearing
our bar. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, there's Boise State chants going back and forth across the street here. Like this is gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. So be safe. Okay, we got Kekoa now Wahine in the house.
What's up, man?
This is we're seeing everybody here, man.
Yeah.
It's cool too to see all the former players come back to these games.
Well, like I said, that was my biggest takeaway after the Oregon game.
Yep.
It's not, hey, Bronco Nation, I mean, look around. You might be sitting like 2 rows from a guy you were cheering from last year, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm excited for everybody to experience this because we got a lot of new fans in there too. Yeah. So I'm excited for everybody to experience the atmosphere, and I know the Broncos are going to show up and answer the call.
Yeah, as this one builds, it's starting. This is a big one now. You can feel it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can feel it.
Don't be surprised if it's like 49-14.
Yeah,
you can see Boise State blowing them out.
Yeah, I mean,
you can feel this one now.
Wow.
If you can't feel this one, like just walking on the street, then you
and is this something this something you maybe when you're a coach you don't feel some of this kind of
nothing. You're sitting over there scared to death. You're sitting in your locker like this, like
I mean, it's going to be loud, but you're not a part of this side of it.
Well, there's nobody in the stadium yet. Nobody. So
they're at every spot here in the corner. I mean, this is the corner to be on right here.
And let me just tell you, I'm not in the. Like, if we weren't doing this, I wouldn't be in the stadium now either.
No, you got an extra 10 minutes.
We talked about the price of beer. Yeah. We still got an hour and a half till kickoff almost. So appreciate you guys. We'll do a post game again right when the game ends. Be ready to flip over to the BNN YouTube channel, and I'll be here with these guys. We'll break the game down and hopefully be talking about a 3-1 Boise State team and a big win. So we'll see what happens here. So appreciate you guys. Enjoy the game. Be safe, and we'll talk to you on the post game show again. Thanks to Barry and everybody here at the James for having us. Hope you can make it down next week for the Utah State game. We'll throw you on as you've seen we've done to a lot of other folks. We'll give you the mic for a few seconds if you want it, but appreciate it. Enjoy the game. And again, Boise State, Washington State coming up on Fox Sports 1. We'll be back afterwards on the post-game show. Again, we're in the Western Collective Studios. If you go into the stadium, pick up that Western Collective beer or the Orange Chaos Seltzer. And again, you can do that inside the stadium or any local retailer in town. So we recommend that. And then our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. So appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you after the game on the post-game show. Bronco Nation News Live for Brad Bedell, Kent Riddle. This is BJ Rains. Thanks again to Jaden Finch. We'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Go wrong.
Bronco Nation News is presented by rowpaint.com, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, by Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Western Collective, by Jackson's, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, by Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and by Timberstone Golf Course.